I have spoken. This is the High Ground Podcast, and Stevie W as always.
And Callum, as always.
And today we are looking at Chapter 8, Redemption of the Mandalorian. So, dude, what did you think?
Can't believe it's over.
Until season 2.
Until season 2, yeah.
Until season 2, which we're recording on the 5th of May, or Revenge of the 5th, if you prefer. And, yeah, that's not me. I stole that from somewhere. So no doubt some Star Wars thing. And they announced yesterday that Peyton Reed and Robert Rodriguez are directing episodes of season 2. So yes, as well as Jon Favreau has been announced and Dave Filoni. But now linking into another thing that was announced yesterday, which was that Taika Waititi's directing and co-writing a Star Wars movie. He was also the director of Chapter 8, Redemption. So, what did you think of Chapter 8?
Yeah, it was a real. Some of it I predicted, but some of it I didn't. So, like, obviously spoilers ahead, but I saw the whole Darksaber thing coming because I've been watching Rebels recently, and there's a whole Mandalorian aspect to that towards the end, and I was thinking that was kind of where it was going to go because we hadn't seen much of his background, and I thought this would be the episode where you did see his background, and you did. So, yeah, no, I thought it was fantastic. I really like Moff Gideon. I think he's a great actor.
I agree on that. The Darksaber was. I knew the Darksaber was this has been aired in the States for a while, so you had spoilers coming out, but it's yeah, and the whole thing about see how you see his backstory, which is they did have to really do a bit of a backstory, and but having they can't remove their helmets in front of something that's alive. No one living can see them without their helmet, and IG-11 isn't human and isn't living, so that's the way the Mandalorian gets around it.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah, and I thought IG-11 was absolutely superb.
Yeah, I'm sad he's gone.
Yeah, Taika Waititi was absolutely superb in it. But I tell you what was absolutely fantastic was the opening where the troopers beating up the child, because every time the child moved, one of them keeps punching it, and the other trooper wanted to have a look at it. Got such a Pulp Fiction vibe in terms of the way they were chatting to each other, like Jules Winfield and Vincent Vega chatting before a hit while they're just waiting. That vibe came across to me, and how one of the troopers always wants to see the thing in the bag, and he always says no, and I thought it was brilliant, spot on.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good point actually. I never thought of Pulp Fiction until you just said it, but it was very Tarantino, and it's nice to just see stormtroopers be human as well for a change, because they're just faceless, like bad guys a lot of the time, aren't they? Whereas it's nice to see them sort of just be normal people, and like they would have a chat about things, and the whole shooting the can and missing thing as well. I was in stitches with that.
That really got me. Because I know you'll get people that coming into the Mandalorian that aren't Star Wars fans, but they've heard, this show's great, you don't really need to know Star Wars to enjoy it. They'll be watching it and they won't understand that reference of the shooting the can, but to the Star Wars fans who stormtroopers can't shoot, I thought that was superb. I was peeing myself at the start.
That's funny.
My fiance's not much of a Star Wars fan, and I'm just sitting there laughing my ass off. And I had to go through stormtroopers can't shoot. Which leads on to, I was watching Empire Strikes Back yesterday, and it's you just watch all these stormtroopers are on Cloud City are after them, and they can't shoot. And I just thought this is brilliant. It just reminded me of the Mandalorian, and I'm like, brilliant, absolutely superb.
I think because it's always been like a point of contention, hasn't it? Like law-wise as well. Like, why can't they shoot it? But I mean, obviously, in real life-wise, it's because we wouldn't have any heroes left if they hit their mark. But it's always been like a Star Wars joke, hasn't it? Among the fans that like they can't shoot, and it was nice to see them finally do an acknowledgement of it. I mean, they've done it a few times in the animated series. They've had them say like, "I can't see anything in this mask" and stuff. But that's just, it's not. It is funny with dialogue, but it was even funnier with that because it's when the second one goes to shoot it as if like, "Oh, I'll show you how it's done,"
Yeah.
and he's still done it.
I was literally. I mean, I didn't realize it was until the end credits. It was Taika Waititi
Oh,
was
really?
directing, because they didn't put the directors on to the end, and to the end
Oh,
of the
directing. Sorry.
yeah. So I'm like, this is good. You know, when you enjoy something, which is a testament, because you should be enjoying it, because if you do have a tendency, if it's someone you love that's directing, that that you follow, that you will go into it with rose tinted glasses on. Yeah, because if you said it's a Taika Waititi film or a Taika Waititi episode, I'm going to go into this already thinking it's great even before.
Yeah.
So because it elevates it for me, and going into it and thoroughly enjoying it, then that's Taika Waititi, because
Yeah. I mean, sorry. No, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
think Taika Waititi is brilliant with characters. I mean, if you watch, I watched Boy recently, and Hunt for the Wilder People is fantastic. What We Do in the Shadows,
Yeah.
Even and What We Do in the Shadows TV series as well. I mean, I suppose I have to mention Thor Ragnarok, which is what everybody knows. But Taika Waititi writes and directs brilliance, and he his characters. Oh yeah, Jojo Rabbit as well. The characters,
Yeah.
he writes great
Fantastic.
characters, and it does come across in a galaxy far, far away. That's why I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the movies. But back to Redemption. I thought it was a perfect episode.
It was great. Yeah, I thought it was really, really fantastic. Like the action was great as well, and even like finally seeing him getting his jetpack as well, which they call Flying Phoenix. I knew that from Rebels, but I didn't remember it that they called it that. Um, I think it's so cool when you see him get his jetpack and you think he's got the full gear now.
Yeah, it was it was amazing. Yeah, I tell you what, but what else? Same scene, the armorer, and
Yes.
when she lives at the end, I was like, wow, yes, I wanted that character to live. When she's surrounded by all the stormtroopers and she makes it out, I really want to see her
Yeah.
again. And
She absolutely batters them, doesn't she?
yeah, and
I thought that was quite brutal, that scene, because you see one of their face masks smashes, and you can see the face underneath. I thought that was quite like, wow.
Yeah, it isn't what you expect from a galaxy far, far away, because severed arms and other
Yeah.
appendages is the norm. But to actually that brutal, but it is the Wild West, isn't it? So
Yeah, very much so. I think that's why I can't wait to see Robert Rodriguez direct it, because if there is a modern Western director, it's him, isn't it?
yes, he is. And this is the thing. I mean, I'm gonna shout out to one of my favorite films and shows, which is I love the Chef Show, and in this episode of the Chef Show, in which Robert Rodriguez is the guest, and he's cooking, and they mention John Favreau mentions reading a book called Rebel Without a Crew, which is my favorite book. So having my two so in the Chef Show, we got two of my favorite directors just chatting, and having now Robert Rodriguez going to the galaxy far, far away is literally, to me, that's going to be pure brilliance. John Favreau, Robert Rodriguez, Mandalorian, and I mean, I'm not taking away from any of the other directors, but this is going to be like a real throwback to 25 years ago for me, from when I read Rebel Without a Crew. So, and of course,
Well, I think like this whole guest director thing is a really good idea, because you've had some great talent do each of the episodes. I mean, you've had like Bryce Dallas Howard and Taika Waititi. Deborah Chow's a really good TV director, and then I'm sure I'm missing someone else, aren't I?
Rick Fukunaga, is it?
Yes, he's good as well. Yeah.
Oh, Dave Filoni.
I mean, it's all been. Oh, Dave Filoni. Yeah,
he did 2 episodes. So
yeah, I mean, it's right. I mean, Robert Rodriguez was meant to do the Boba Fett movie, wasn't he? He was slated for that. I'm sure I had a rumor about that when it was still getting made.
Thank you, all you people that didn't like 8 and then boycotted Solo.
But this might work in our favour, actually, having him come on this.
Oh yeah. maybe after
Because you
this.
can do a lot more with a TV show, I think, than a film.
Plus, if it's a success and he enjoys it, and everything goes together, maybe he'll get his own movie like Taika Waititi has now.
Maybe, and maybe he might persuade his friend Quentin to do one.
Oh, come on! I know this is for another podcast that we do because we are both Tarantino fans. But I would. The whole thing about doing 10 movies really doesn't sit well with me because.
Well, doesn't need to mean he can't do TV.
No, but I want to. When it comes to Quentin Tarantino, I want more than 10 movies. I mean, his ninth one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is one of the best modern day films I've ever seen. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is pure brilliance. But God, Quentin Tarantino directing an episode of The Mandalorian or something in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, Quentin, if you're listening, get on that.
Yeah, and bring back someone who we saw fall out of a building, and that would be kind of cool as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because we really think he did survive the fall.
I think he did.
Yeah, and besides, it wouldn't be right. Quentin Tarantino, if he ever did direct a galaxy far, far away, he'd have to have Mace Windu in it somewhere.
Yeah.
Not.
Well, I remember when Rebels was coming into the last season, there was someone claimed it was leaked artwork. I don't know if it was fake or not, but they were going to bring Mace Windu back with like a robotic arm. But I think in like interviews and stuff, Dave Filoni said no, we were never going to do that because we already had Darth Maul brought back with robotic limbs. So it's kind of flogging a dead horse to have two of them. And if they kept doing that, I think the idea was like death isn't even final. You know, like if you keep bringing people back.
If you go into the Star Trek universe.
Yeah. Or, I mean, comic book universe as well. In comics.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they call it comic book death for a reason, don't they? Because you're never dead, really, are you? Because of all the timelines and.
Yeah, that is so true. You got to sell comic books.
You have, yeah. That's one thing I do like about the MCU. They do stick to, like, the deaths are deaths.
Yeah.
Like, we're never going to see Iron Man or Captain America or Black Widow again. Maybe in flashbacks and stuff.
Multiverse.
Yeah, I think they are dead.
Oh, these incarnations are, but they'll probably bring them back in the multiverse in some form or another.
Yeah.
They're not the same actors necessarily.
No.
It'd be nice. I mean, because I can't imagine anybody else playing Iron Man, but other than Robert Downey Jr. or Captain America. Oh, Steve Rogers, should I say?
Yeah.
But, yeah. So back to episode 8. That I guess one thing that really got me is the whole family element of it.
Yeah.
And how when Mando gets his clan badge, the clan of 2.
Oh yeah, that was so cool.
I thought that was, and where they're going to go with the next season.
Yeah, I mean, because they're going to take the child back to its people, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I said to you, didn't I? I'm kind of wary. Not. I mean, that'd be cool. I'd love to see Ava's planet, but I don't want them to tell you what species it is.
No.
I still want it to be. I kind of like that in that last episode just now. The way Grief Karga, Apollo Creed himself, was saying, do the magic hand thing.
Yeah, he waves.
Not everyone maybe knows about Jedi before. Yeah. I quite like that.
Oh, that's brilliant. I completely agree with you. We don't need to know his name. We don't need to know his species.
No.
He's just the child.
Yeah.
And I do like that.
I do, yeah. And he's so cute.
He is.
I hope they just keep him as a kid for the whole thing.
Oh, definitely. We don't need to see him grown up.
No.
Because if you do that, he becomes Guardians of the Galaxy, which that's not a negative. Guardians of the Galaxy is fantastic, but it's been done before. We don't need it again.
It's been done, yeah. And one thing I do like about the whole child thing was in the first or second episode where they sort of. Oh no, it's the second episode. I think, is it? Oh no, it's the first. When IG-11 is bad at first, and he says about certain species age at different rates because the Mandalorian's like, oh, he's 50. What? He's a child. Yeah. I like that about because I mean Yoda was 900, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he didn't really look that old.
That explains how it does explain it, how they got a long childhood.
Yeah,
So it's fantastic. And
it is.
I'm gonna ask you now, usual 5-star rankings. What are you gonna give it?
I'd give this 5. I think this was a fantastic finale. I think it's on level par with with the end of Picard. How impressed I was with that. Because I'm always worried about finales because you lead up to this ending, don't you? And you have to deliver, or you've just wasted the whole season. And they didn't waste an episode, in my opinion.
No.
Because even some episodes of Picard weren't awful, but you know where you're like, it's the kind of naff episode of the series.
I enjoyed Picard. I really did, and
yeah, same. Yeah,
I agree with you. I'm giving it a full 5 stars as it, and the way that it did that is they did the setup as to where the characters are going. So just
yeah,
and I thought it was fantastic. But it's just I liked the humor in it. I did. I really did. And I really, when you saw all those Mando helmets and the armor, because the Mandos all got wiped out, and you're just waiting for when the armorer gets confronted by all those stormtroopers, I was just going, oh, why do you have to kill her off? I like the character, really like the
yeah.
character, and one Mandalorian against all those troopers after all the others have fallen, and she's like, she's just gonna get it. She's gonna go out in honor with honor, and that's gonna be it. But she kicked all their asses, and I thought that was brilliant because I really want to see that character again. I really
I
do.
love her armor as well. How it looks like an ancient Greek helmet.
Yeah.
With the visor, I really like that. I think that's so cool. And I've got a little theory about her, haven't I?
Yes.
That I think she might be Sabine from Rebels.
That would link in.
I mean, I don't. Obviously, what we always say we get annoyed about sometimes in things is everything being connected or explained, but it's kind of an off kilter. There's not much going on in this series that is connected to the rest of the galaxy anyway. It's like a far frontier sort of series. So, I mean, she sort of get the impression that she rises high within the ranks anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't see her face and they haven't named the armor, so.
No.
Could be, I don't know.
I know. There's only one person I would like to see in, like I said, in there that I know it's pandering fan service. Even if he's just background blinking, you miss it. I would like to see Boba Fett somewhere, not a main character, God. But just in the background.
Yeah.
I don't want him to become, because if you put Boba Fett in the Mandalorian, you're looking at he will detract from the Mando. But even if it's just a blink and you miss it, him walking by in the background, it would be perfect. It would, or someone in a similar coloured armor. Is it him or isn't it him, sort of thing? It would be.
I just want to know if he got out of the pit. I think he did.
He did. Come on.
I mean, even just no mask on, so you don't know it's him at first, and just have Daniel Logan walk by or something. It would just be. I mean, I said to you, didn't I, when in the flashback scene when they lift the cellar doors up, I thought for 1 second I was like, oh, Fett maybe, but
yeah,
it's just I see what you mean though. It would detract if he was like a constantly occurring. I mean, if that's the case, make his series boring.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, because you don't need a Boba. You mean we need Boba Fett? We'd love to have a Boba Fett movie, but yeah, he needs just to be a bit part rather than the main.
Yeah, I mean, something he could appear in could be the Obi-Wan TV series.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah, you could.
Because then you've got 2 main. I mean, he's not a main character anyway, is he? But that's just because everyone loves him so much.
Yeah.
But if you've got someone like a heavy hitter like Ewan McGregor in it as well, you won't be losing because the Mandalorian's quite a new character, isn't he? So you won't be losing that sort of. There won't be a disconnect if you have Obi-Wan and Boba Fett. No. Because he knows it anyway, and he would have a reason to hate the Jedi, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and he's also on Tatooine as well at points.
Yeah.
So doing work for a certain bounty hunter.
And if you read the new Marvel comics, it's actually Boba Fett that delivers the news to Darth Vader before Empire Strikes Back that Luke is his son. So they kind of tied that in really well.
Even that I'm going to have to read more of those sort of things.
They're okay. Some of them, the first few runs were really good on it, but now they've got a bit silly, sort of, like, because it's in comics, there's no real budget restraints and you do what you want. So they did it with Buffy season 10 as well, and season 8 and 9, 10. They made it to, like, you've got comics, so you haven't got a restriction on your special effects or anything.
Now I've got one question. This is a little bit of a bonus now, because we've done Mando 8. So, just tying into the first episode of the gallery, which we'll go into more detail once the season's finished. But on May the 4th, the first episode of Gallery dropped. What did you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like how they're doing it as well. They're sort of splitting it into, I would imagine it's going to be directing, acting, special effects, that sort of thing. But yeah, I really enjoy. I mean, Taika Waititi's just a joy to watch, isn't he?
Oh, he's brilliant. He is. He does press junkets and interviews better than no one, other than of course Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum's just good as well. Another little link to Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But seeing Jon Favreau around the table and Taika Waititi around the table with these other great directors is absolutely fantastic. And then throwing Bryce Dallas in at the deep end.
Yeah,
that was.
And I also I loved the story Dave Filoni had about when he met George Lucas. How he thought it was a prank.
That was brilliant. How he thought it was the guys from Cartoon Network. Yeah, the SpongeBob guys doing George Lucas. They were pranking him. Oh, it was
Because I mean, we can all do a passable George Lucas with can't we?
Oh yeah, but I thought that was brilliant, and I like the story that Bryce tells about how she fell asleep on her dad's lap when Ron if you don't know Bryce Dallas Howard's father is Ron Howard, and you can go back to 1973, is it? American Graffiti or 74?
Yeah.
Graffiti 73, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, you can go back to American Graffiti with Ron Howard's links to George Lucas. And so having Bryce Dallas falling asleep as Ron Howard, George Lucas, and Akira Kurosawa are all having a conversation, that is pretty cool. Yeah,
I mean, if you know a bit of the backstory about the creation of Star Wars as well, you know that Akira Kurosawa is a massive influence on it. The samurai are pretty much the Jedi, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, like George Lucas meeting him is kind of like if we met George Lucas. That's his big sort of fangasm, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a nice story. Like, I mean, of all the people to fall asleep in a room with,
those and Ron Howard went on to direct this solo Star Wars story for Disney Lucasfilm. He directed Willow for George.
Yeah.
So it was I really enjoyed the Insight and Gallery. And I look forward to the others. We'll be doing, as soon as Gallery's finished, we'll be doing we'll do a little roundup of them all. We will. So,
I mean, they're sort of like a series in themselves, aren't they?
Yeah. It's kind of like this is their way of saying we'll give you this until we launch season 2. So
yeah, which is good because I mean a lot of series, Game of Thrones were awful for finishing a season and then next season's in a year and a half. All right, okay.
It's gonna be interesting to see how long we get the Mando running for.
10 years hopefully.
Yeah, as long as they still make good stories, that's all that we need. So
I think you could probably foreseeably run it into the beginning of episode 7, maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because I mean, I don't know specific time periods, but I know it's not long. I don't think it's long after Return of the Jedi, is it?
No, because the battle droids in the flashback are episode 2 ones.
So the super battle droids.
Yeah, so you got to basically then work out how old Mando is. Then, so you're looking, I'd say, about 30 years after episode. It's got to be 30 years because he's not early. He's going to be about late 30s.
Yeah, well, see, I got confused. Yeah, that's how I aged him because if not, then I'm confused with that flashback because I assumed that was taking place during the Clone Wars because of the battle droids. and they didn't look old or rusty. They looked normal, didn't they?
Yeah. So
I'm assuming that's taking place sometime during the Clone Wars.
yeah, and that's
that would put him at late 30s, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because it's about 16 years.
Yeah.
Between Sith and A New Hope. Then you had an extra.
Anakin was he 21 when the Clone Wars happened, and then he's in his 50s when he dies, isn't he? So it's about 30 years, isn't it?
So then was it about how many years between New Hope and Jedi?
It's a year between A New Hope and Empire, and then it's 2 years, I think. Is it 3?
3 years,
maybe?
Something like that. Jedi, yeah.
I'm sure someone knows online.
Yeah. Answers on. Feel free to comment on the one of our posts on one of our social media sites.
I'll probably Wikipedia it, but comment anyway.
Yeah, and Gallery, really enjoyable on Disney Plus. Any final words?
I think just what we've said. It's been an absolutely phenomenal start to Disney Plus with this show, and everything else you get for the price is fantastic. So, I mean, episode 9 is up there now, so everything is on there.
Yeah, that's true.
And they even added Star Wars Resistance, which was the 3rd animated series. It's not as good, but everything's on there now. So, I think I'm loving The Mandalorian so far. Bring it on.
Oh, yeah. I think I was going to end this with this by saying this. We have spoken.
We have.
See you all soon.
Bye.